So guys, here's where the problem is then. So this was a reproduction shaft here. The reproduction is a little bit different. It doesn't have a little bit of an extension on the end there where another washer goes. But you can see how you got your washers, your split pin, and there's a washer, and then the stay, the brake master cylinder stay, and then a pin which holds it together, and these go onto it like that. When there's a bit of play in your pedal shaft, it wobbles them, and you can see where it's cut in here, and that's the washer and that's the stay, and that's where they've cut in there. So, and this is just solely due to this wear in this steel to steel contact here. So if I get it on, you can see, you can hear it and see how it wobbles, and that's just that wear causing those to rub in there. So that's what happens. There's a bit of corrosion in there as well, a tiny bit of surface corrosion. So water obviously gets in here as well. I mean, it's down close to the ground, isn't it? So water can seep in there and sit with the oil. Bit of scuffing there. That's through the brass. That's actually inside the brass insert, the reproduction insert there. So you can see how it wears in there as well. So yeah, this is a high wear part, unfortunately. That's 1,000 miles which has done that already. I did get a spare brake arm here actually from a guy online, and he said it was you know, I said, oh, is it worn, or you know, how is it going to be any good? And he says, oh yeah, it's great, it's fantastic, perfect, ready to go. But of course, when I put this on as well, it was just like which way around are we looking here? Doesn't matter. When it went on, I think this is actually even more worn than the one I've currently got. So I'll send these off and get them re-bushed, or should I say not re-bushed, but bushed for the first time. There's a guy who says he can do it, so it'll be interesting to see what happens here. So hopefully that can remove some of the wear that occurs on the brake pedal on this shaft here, and so we can remove this issue. But as you can see, yeah, that's 1,000 miles where those washers have started to cut in there due to just to the play in this shaft, in this arm, which is quite interesting. But otherwise, it doesn't look too bad. I scuffed the ends up there because there was a burr on it, so I had to do that to get it to go in. But otherwise, it looks pretty much the same. But yeah, that's the scuffing from the bronze or the brass insert with the reproduction. But there you go. open this up and see what we get then. This is a replacement reproduction lid for this transmission actually, because the one I had a bit too much wear in the pins. I got some guys to, you can do a braze repair to where the pin runs for the shifter cane, and they attempted to do it but they failed and just wrecked it. So I do have the other lid, the original Ford lid, still over there, and I need to get somebody who can actually fix it and braze it properly at some point, but that's for the future because it's more important at the moment for me to have a lid in a shifter cane which doesn't rotate than it is to have the correct Ford one. I've got the correct Ford one, it just needs repairing and I'm just not doing that at the moment. But this is a reproduction lid, they're about £80 in the UK and it's a very good one actually. The top's not, it's a bit rough casting there, but otherwise it works perfectly. The fit is perfect and everything, so I was very pleased with that. They're available in Europe and I'm sure they're available in America as well. So let's have a look. This is a new old stock replacement cover there as well, and that was new old stock as well, and the cane itself was fine, so we've got all those. So let's carefully lever this off and see what we get. It's in neutral, isn't it? Come on, you should come out easy peasy. What are you stuck on? Stuck for some reason. Getting stuck on it. There we go. It was just on the top there. Hadn't got stuck previously. Right then. So there's the underside of that. You can see it hasn't even worn the paint off on the recess there. So that's looking good, and it's hardly worn it on the other side as well. There's no rotation in that. So that lid's, well, it's only had a couple of 100 miles on it. The lid, you would hope it would still be good. Like, still looks pretty good to me, so that's good. Won't have to do anything with that, fortunately. So, let us have a look. So this is what we've got when we open it then. Not a huge amount to see, looks shiny. Can't see any particles initially. You know, if there are bits everywhere, you'd see them everywhere, so... I mean, as I said, the issue with this case is in the details as opposed to the major problems, so I didn't expect to see major explosion or anything like that because I've been running fine up until now. Well, it's running fine full stop, so you know, it should look okay, but it's going to get down in the details when we start really delving into it that we start to find the minute problems. So let's continue breaking it down then.